All right. Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakwadash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples to us younger brothers. And peace and blessings and salutation to the hopeful lake out there pushing this word in truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakwadash, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful lake, the believers, the listeners whom have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. All right, and what I want to get into this morning, the sooner the better. All right, and when we say the sooner the better, well, we're speaking of the sooner Esau Edom is removed from power, the better. All right, because one thing, this truth, one thing we learn within this truth is that it pinpoints the problem of the planet Earth, and for the longest, Esau Edom has been able to gaslight the Earth, okay, and make it seem as if everyone else, all right, was the problem. He'll blame, you know, he'll blame it on the world. This nigga, here it is. This nigga has the power and authority, okay, over the whole earth. And he'll blame Earth's problem on the rest of the world. Exclude himself and just point and put the blame on humanity. It's because of humanity, that you have the global warming, the BS, and, Earth pollution is because of, pollution. Everything is because of humanity, as if there's not one nation of people, all right, that's doing nothing but wickedness in the earth, man. Okay? It's not humanity that's building data centers. It's not humanity that got trash in space. It's not humanity that's testing missiles. It's not humanity that's putting, all right, cancer causing chemicals in the food. Okay? The pea-ceutical industry. You really can't even say it. And then that's the thing, too. You can't even call out what this nigga is doing, okay, without being censored. Okay? You can't even say particular things. You gotta talk in code, okay? Because this nigga is guilty, man. So the fact that you gotta talk in code about certain wickedness that this devil does, all right, lets you know this nigga is guilty and this nigga is the problem, man. And we can go on and on. This nigga rap sheet is unlimited. He wants to be unlimited. He wants to have unlimited power, but no, you're unlimited in your wickedness. Now, when it comes to your wickedness, it has no end. You see? So when you go to the book of Matthew, chapter 24, and verse 6, it says, "You shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet." And let's read in NLT. Because we read this all the time, but I just, the Spirit just gave me another perspective, from this precept. When you read Matthew 24 and 6 in the NLT, "And you will hear of wars and threats of wars, but do not panic. Yes, these things must take place, but the end won't follow immediately, man." So these things must take place, but the end will not happen immediately because we're not panicking. Then it tells us not to panic because this is just part of the process of the Lord getting ready to take Esau down. You see, people are panicking because they first off, they don't understand what's going on. They don't understand prophecy, okay? And people love this current world. People love this current age. And no matter how bad Esau does them, people still have a love for this society, man. They might have complaints about, money, because everybody real complaint is about money. Okay, if the government, was to begin to issue out dividend checks, every month to people, okay, to cover their cost of living, and their ability to go on vacation or particular things, these people wouldn't have a complaint, man. Okay, so that's why they panic because, these people love this world and then they don't understand prophecy, man. This is their end all be all. Okay, but we're not to panic because we know this is the beginning of the Lord taking Esau down. So whether this man is, we know that he's fabricating, crisis and different things that's happening, and he's pushing a lot of propaganda. He's pushing fear. He's creating, certain shortages and different. But at the end of the day, everything that this devil is doing is bringing him to his end. You see, everything that Esau Edom is doing is bringing him close to the end of his empire, man. The end of his rulership, the end of him having any authority in the earth, man. Okay? So we're not to panic because we're watching the Lord, all right, cause Esau to crash out, man. And then this new world order is gonna be a failure, you know. So every step that he gets, you know, every little achievement that he gets within his new world order agenda, well, they're just a step closer to his complete failure. You see, it's gonna be a complete failure. He's gonna get so far. The Lord's gonna allow the man to get to a certain point, achieve a few more things, all right, and setting up a new world order, and then he's gonna be done. You see, there's already a appointed time for this nigga to fall, man. You see, it's just a thing now for being patient, man. You see, and the sooner the better when this nigga get out of here, man. The sooner the better, man. This nigga's in the way of life, man. You know, he's in the way of people enjoying existence, man. Beginning with Israel, okay? He's in the way with Israel enjoying existence, the earth that the Lord created for our sake. This nigga is in the way of that, man. You know? So that's why even our forefathers, let's go here. You know, let's get this in the book of Second Ezra. Okay. Chapter 6. Alright, this was the mindset of our forefathers, man. Okay. This is Second Ezra 6 and 54. It says, and after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of thy creatures, of him come we all, and the people also whom thou hast chosen. Yeah, because everyone is a descendant from Adam, you know, through who? Through Noah. All right, because through Noah you had Shem, Ham, and Japheth. All right, which you get all the nations of the earth come from those three men. You know, you got, you know, Ham. All right, you got Japheth. Okay, and then Shem, there's multiple tribes that come, you know, out of multiple nations that come out of Shem. You see? But at the end of the day, everybody's lineage can be traced back to Adam. But there's a particular lineage from Adam that was chosen. Okay? And that lineage goes through Shem, all right, trickling down to Abraham, Isaac, all right, and Jacob. And the descendants of Jacob, everyone that descends from Jacob, which you have 12 nations, 12 tribes that come out of Jacob, okay, which are the chosen people. You see? So everyone comes from Adam, but there's one chosen lineage of Adam, okay, which can be traced, okay, from each tribe all the way back to Adam, you know, through from each tribe, you know, because we're from respective tribe, Gad, Benjamin, Judah, you know, Issachar, you know, so forth and so on, okay. But every descendant of one of those tribes, their lineage goes back, all right, to Jacob, Isaac, Abraham, all the way back to Adam, man. Their chosen line. You see? So when you go to 2 Ezra 6 and 54, it says, all this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sakes, man. The world was made for Israel, man. It was customized, all right? It was a customized paradise for Israel, man. You know? The earth was made for our sakes. You know, this was the Lord. The earth is the elder Zahab goes into it all the time. You know, the earth was like a Pandora box for the Lord chosen people. Now, of course, all right, the heathen eventually they're gonna benefit from us being in power because it's gonna be a much better rulership, man. It's gonna be a far greater rulership. The earth is gonna be in a much better condition, man. Okay, the earth is gonna return truly back to paradise, man, under the rulership of the right people, but it begins with the right, all right, rulers being in power, okay? With those rightful rulers, okay, are the sons of God, okay? So, and we know our rulership is immediately after this nigga rulership, man. And the Lord is transitioning the power now, man. Okay, that's why everything that's happening is working in our favor and against Esau, man. You know, prophecy, hey, like you're running a sprint, you know, they say how the wind is at your back. You know, you running the sprint, so the wind is at your back, propelling you, you know, and helping you run that sprint. You see, well, prophecy is at our back and it's pushing us, all right, hey, to finish and win, man. You see, it's set up for, the game is set up for the elect of Israel to win. Okay, and Esau to have epic failure, man. Okay, that's how the Lord set this thing up with prophecy, man. And through the elect, the rest of Israel gonna come back in their right mind. You see? And the sooner, the better, man. The sooner we get this nigga out of power, man, the sooner we can enjoy family. We can enjoy the earth, man. We can enjoy having power. We can just be. No more death. And we won't die anymore. Okay? Time will not be a factor, man. We'll know how the earth works perfectly, man, in order to put things in this proper place. Okay? So forth and so on, man. There's things to look forward to that we don't even know exist, man. The scripture say we only seen but a spark. Okay, we seen but a little of his works, man. Okay, but until this nigga get taken out the way, man. You see, that's why the sooner the better. That's why we love how the Lord got Esau on go mode, man. That's beautiful. That's great for us, man. Keep going, keep building data centers, keep putting up, all right, your cameras and your DPI, and keep manufacturing crisis and doing this and doing that and running with this propaganda. And keep going to war. Keep doing what you do. Okay, the sooner the better, man. Because every move that this nigga make in attempt to extend, all right, his rulership, okay, is just bringing this nigga a step closer to epic failure, man. Okay, so let's go from there. Let's get this. I want to get this in the what's my goddamn game? I'm gonna get this in the GNT. Yep, that's why so much judgment prepared, man. All right, this is Second Ezra chapter 4, verse 28, and this in the GNT. It says the evil. All right, this is the angel, Archangel Uriel speaking to Ezra. Okay, it says the evil about which you have asked me has already been planted, but the time of harvesting has not yet arrived. And the evil was planted back in the garden, man. You see, it was Esau. I mean, well, in the spirit we know, the spirit that was in the serpent, the same spirit that's in Esau, man. You know, if you can receive it, man. You see, the same spirit that destroyed, okay, paradise. Well, that same spirit is in Esau. Because what is Esau doing now? He's destroying paradise, man. Okay, the way his style of rulership destroys the earth. It destroys paradise, man. Okay, that's a giveaway to who this nigga is, man. He's the wicked. He was the Cain. Cain's descendants were known for their violence. Okay, what is Esau known for? Violence. Okay, that's the tone of this nigga society is violence, man. Okay, to where everyone has to have a weapon because of precedent that Esau sets. Okay, with violence, man. Okay, verse 29. It said the evil must be harvested in this world where it says in this world where it was planted must be removed before the new age where the good is to be planted can appear. So this nigga has to be removed, man. And that's the only judgment that makes sense. The only thing that makes sense is the Most High removing Esau from power, and then eventually exterminating this nigga, terminating this nigga from the earth, man. That's perfect judgment. That's a great judgment call. You know, it's a great judgment call. We, you know, the Lord has had the spirit on us to search this nigga out, man. Okay, and really get into the devil, expose this devil, man. Hey, the conclusion, all right, of the matter is this nigga got to go. He got to be removed from power immediately. Okay, and then he got to be done away with. Like, there's no need for an Edomite in existence, man. You know, so that's why once we get that labor out there, nigga, for that 1,000 years, man, he gone. Okay, he's gonna be a a temp staff. All right, he saw a temp staff nation. Okay, and once he filled his his work order, okay, after that 1,000 years, man, he's out of there, man. Verse 30 says, at the beginning of time, one grain of evil seed was sown in the heart of Adam. See how much wickedness it has already produced. So the archangel Uriel is telling him, look how wicked it is now. You know, look how wicked it is now, because it's one wicked evil seed that was planted back in the garden, man. You know, and that seed has now covered the earth. You see, because these other nations, you know, they had wicked empires, you had corrupt leaders, and well, see, it was never on this level to what we see there now. You know, it was never to this point. And it says, this devil, he took the baton of wickedness, and he, you know, he did things that wasn't even that wasn't even imaginable during the time of these other empires, man. Okay, it said, think of how much more it will produce before it is cut down and threshed out at Judgment Day. You can see for yourself what big crop this one evil seed has produced. How terrible will be the harvest on Judgment Day when these countless heads of grains are threshed out, man. That's why the slain of the Lord gonna be from one end of the earth to the other, man. Because Esau, he has corrupted and defiled the earth and the people in it so much, man, that there has to be a great slaughter at the end, man. You know, there has to be a great slaughter, a great purging in the earth, man, because of this nigga, man. And the earth itself, that fire is going to be purifying and cleansing the earth as well. You know, the air, the water, the land. Okay, that fire is going to be a tool of judgment and also a tool of cleansing. Okay, and so we got you know, it has to clean up. Okay, the judgment is going to be a great cleanup, man. You see, and it's going to be it's going to set the tone of getting the earth back to paradise, man. You see, it's going to create a trajectory where the earth starts to go back to paradise, man. You know, with the rightful rulers in power, these heathens in captivity, okay, under us, man, where they belong. Everything is going to return to its rightful way. You know, nature itself is going to go back to paradise, man. You see, because it's going to be ruled by true, wise rulers, man. Okay, so the sooner, the better. All right, the sooner this nigga does what he does, man, the better, man. So Lord will, you brothers, all right, and you few sisters will edify once again. I want to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai Bahashim, Rakakwadash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples towards younger brothers. And peace and blessings, salutations to the hopeful Shalom.